Ready?
I'm ready, yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 44, the Honorable Monica Marubu, MP, requested the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Lands to provide a response on the implementation of Hindi Magogoni Phase 2 settlement scheme on the following. Number one, explanation as to why it has taken long for the team at the Ministry of Lands to conclude the operationalization of Magogoni settlement scheme, considering that the officers were funded to the tune of 18 million by the county government of Lamu. Number two, the timelines within which the title deeds to legitimate beneficiaries of Hindi settlement scheme will be issued. And number three, a list of the original beneficiaries of the 19,019 acres of land in phase 1 of the Hindi Magogoni settlement scheme. Honorable Speaker, here is my response. Honorable Speaker, the land being referred to measures approximately 16,000 acres. It was reserved on 13th January 1997 for the settlement of squatters at Hindi Magogoni settlement scheme, phase 1 and phase 2. It was to be managed by the Settlement Fund Trustees, SFT, now referred to as Land Settlement Fund Board of Trustees. In 2013, Honorable Speaker, the ministry developed a plan for 4-acre farm plots. The county government of Lamu did not concur with the plan by the ministry and instead proposed a 1/4 to 1 acre mixed-use plots. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, consultations held between the county government and the ministry led to the harmonization of the two plans while taking cognizance of the expanded 500-meter wide lapset corridor and the land uses. The harmonized plan provided for 2-acre plots which were approved by the Honorable Speaker, in 2019, the ministry and the county government of Lamu began profiling of the squatters. However, the exercise experienced a number of challenges, including, number one, several people having fenced off huge chunks of land. Number two, we also had a problem of massive invasion by both local and non-locals. Challenge number three, Mr. Speaker, some squatters presented multiple identity cards for absentee landlords. Number four, political interference from some leaders by excluding those perceived to be from outside the area. Number six, county government plans to establish an urban centers in order to collect revenue. And then number seven, rampant insecurity in the area. Honorable Speaker, in 2022, following the August general election, a new county administration came into office. Following this new development, the ministry undertook to carry out further consultations with various stakeholders with a view of finding a lasting solution. So far, several stakeholders meetings have been conducted to build consensus on the settlement program. A number of solutions have been agreed upon as follows. Number one, the State Department for Livestock to cede claim of 2,047 hectares, which is approximately 5,060 acres from the scheme. Number two, lapset teams to sensitize beneficiaries and public on the different land uses and zoning along the corridors. Number three, beneficiaries of the land to be identified after the survey.
Order, Honorable Soro is against the standing orders to stand between the member on the floor and the speaker.
Number four, thank you, Honorable Speaker, the Boni community to be considered in the scheme alongside others. Number five, Honorable Speaker, public participation, barasas be conducted and ground committees be elected. And number 6, Honorable Speaker, the Lamu County Security Team to secure project area to guard against invasion. Honorable Speaker, the issue at hand is quite emotive and requires extensive consultations between the ministry, the county government of Lamu, Ministry of Interior, National Administration, political leaders and the local leaders to build consensus on the way forward. The ministry will spearhead these consultations in the current financial year, 2024-2025. Once consensus is built, the ministry will commence the process of surveying, demarcation and titling. Therefore, it's not possible to give realistic timelines for issuance of the titles in the scheme. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Rueda.
Bwana Spika, haya yanaongelewa hapa si ukweli. Dadangu Muthoni ameweka, lakini amekuja hapa bunge kwa sababu hatuhusishwi, hakuna mtu leaders ameitwa na hakuna mtu amepinga. Asiseme ati political leaders, sote mimi sijawahi itwa, Mheshimiwa Mudhama hajawahi itwa, Mheshimiwa Muthoni hajawahi itwa, hiyo leaders wengine ni kina nani? Na Lamu kuna constituency 2 na women rep 1. Hatujawahi itwa, hiyo ni uongo. Ya pili, kuna kigezo hapo.
Neno uongo halikubaliki kutumiwa katika bunge.
Sasa niseme nini Speaker? Manake si ukweli.
Sema ukosefu wa ukweli.
Haya. Well guided, Bwana Speaker. Na kitu kingine Bwana Speaker kinatumika kwa Lamu. Kitu chochote ukiuliza, kama pengine kuna uzembe pahali, wanasema insecurity. Hakuna utovu wa usalama Lamu. Tunaishi, tunaenda pale tunataka. Hapo Hindi watu wako wengi, miradi mingi na clubset wako. Sasa utovu wa usalama umetokea wapi? Ni wamekosa kusema ukweli, ndio wanatumia kigezo cha utovu wa usalama. Na hii ardhi sijui ni hii ya Swahili scheme, manake hiyo Swahili scheme hapo imeleta utata. Kila governor akiingia analeta sheria zake na mambo hayaendi, yanasonga hapo hapo. Lakini sio kwamba ni member of parliament au political leaders. Kwa hivyo mimi nilikuwa ningeomba huyo waziri aje au nilitengeze swali vingine muniambie vipi nitafanya ili waziri aje ajibu sahihi. Manake sahihi tu ni kama kugombeza chair bure na yeye hajui hayo mambo yameenda vipi huko. Yeye amepewa lazima asome hivyo. Asante.
Mwenyekiti.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think that's a confirmation that there is a problem in Lamu. What I could want to promise, Honorable Speaker, is to give an undertaking that will make arrangements.
Just inform the authorities. Yeah, and Honorable Rueda is very fair. She's not saying you are not doing the right thing.
So that's
she's
why
not saying you are doing the wrong thing, but she's saying involve leaders.
Yeah, that's what
which is a very fair request.
I just want to give an undertaking as the chair of the committee that will make arrangements so that we can have the minister or the PS together with the leadership from Lamu so that we can have a round table discussion on the same and find a lasting solution, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next, Kazim Tandaza. Oh, sorry. We go back to Honorable Bukose, Chairman. Is Mayaka in the house?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, Honorable Irene Mayaka requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the regulations and lack of facilities specialized in the treatment of endometriosis. Honorable Speaker, I want to respond as follows. That the state, in number 1A, state the number of facilities within the country that are specialized in endometriosis treatment, their location, and whether such facilities carry out possible awareness programs on endometriosis. Response. Endometriosis is a disease in which tissue similar to the lining of uterus grows outside the uterus. It is associated with chronic pelvic pain, especially during periods, that is menses. And this pain could also occur during or after sex, heavy menstrual bleeding, and difficulties in conceiving. In Kenya, the prevalence of endometriosis is 4.6%. Diagnosis and treatment of endometriosis is mainly undertaken by gynecologists through laparoscopic visualization and histological confirmation, which are considered the gold standard for diagnostic of endometriosis. The treatment can either be drugs or, in severe complicated cases, laparoscopic surgery. Currently, there are 2 level 6 health facilities, Kenyatta National Hospital and Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, that can be able to treat endometriosis. In terms of awareness of endometriosis, this is a continuous process through periodic continuous medical education forums and health education session talks at health facilities. The ministry plans to do media campaigns nationally and through local FM radios on endometriosis to give correct information about the disease and eliminate stigma around similar conditions of painful menses and demystify the myths. Community health promoters have also been trained to refer women with similar symptoms to higher levels to facilitate early diagnosis and treatment. B, on outline the measures put in place by the Ministry of Health to facilitate public hospitals with specialized training on the treatment of endometriosis to provide better health care to women in the country. The response is as follows. Endometriosis is one of the disease conditions covered in the pre-service training curriculum for nurses, clinical officers, and doctors. Government has invested in the training of gynecologists. Currently in Kenya, we have about 700 gynecologists working in different parts of the country, both in public and private. And we have 5 trained laparoscopic gynecology surgeons, mainly based at national referral hospitals. Equally, the government has invested on the availability of laparoscopic equipment for use by the experts. What are the specific actions being taken by Ministry of Health to tackle the challenges posed by endometriosis and creating public awareness on treatment? The response is as follows, that the ministry plans to establish endometriosis specialized centers of excellence to offer care, train more laparoscopic gynecology surgeons, ensure availability of endometriosis medicines through the Social Health Insurance Fund, avail more laparoscopic equipment, and continuous sensitization of the general public on endometriosis through community health promoters and media. This statement was signed by the Cabinet Secretary for Health. Thank you.
Irene Mayaka, you're satisfied with the answer?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am not satisfied with the answer, with the response. But before I give my remarks to that, if you will kindly allow me, Honorable Speaker, I would like to give my condolences because on behalf of the African Liberal Network, which is a conglomeration of parties that the ODM party belongs to, and as the Vice President of East Africa, we lost a lady called the Honorable Jolie Mugisha from Uganda, who is the Deputy President of the National Unity Platform Party in Uganda, who is being buried today. And I'd just like to pay my tribute to her because she is one of those ladies who has really supported the growth of women leadership in Uganda and in East Africa. And on my own behalf and on behalf of the ODM party, I'd just like to give my
What has that got to do with the question?
I will.
What has that got to do with the question?
She worked on the endometriosis.
You must be relevant to what is going on in the House.
Honorable Speaker, before I started, I did request because she worked on endometriosis a lot. And so this is very relevant to us because
Ask a
it's in light to
clarification. If you are satisfied, you give way.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not satisfied with the response. I find it underwhelming for 3 reasons. Number 1, the fact that in the statement, the chair tells us that we only have 5 surgeons who actually work on the laparoscopic gynecological surgeons, and yet this is one procedure that is extremely expensive. It costs between 350,000 to 1 million shillings. and to think of the number of women, especially the young women who suffer from this, I think the Ministry of Health can do much more towards this particular disease. And then secondly, part of the response tells us that the ministry is working on training and is working on sensitizing, but there's no specific dates towards that. Working could be in 2 years from now or 3 years from now. When exactly do they want to begin the sensitization process? Because one of the things that the young women really suffer from is from the stigmatization that they get from this particular disease. So we need to have very specific information in terms of when is this sensitization beginning. And then finally also, the fact that we only have 2 public facilities that offer this disease in the whole country. And yet we have so many other private facilities that offer it at a very expensive rate. And as I said earlier, for the young girls who are between the age of 15 and 24 who suffer the most from this, I think we need to do a bit more than what we are being told by the ministry. I therefore think that this is not enough for us. Thank you.
Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuzungumzia mambo ya endometriosis. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimemsikiza Mheshimiwa akitoa majibu yake, na mimi napenda kuambia mwache Google, kwa sababu huku kuna mtoto tulimpoteza wa kike anaitwa Njoki. Alienda nje kutafuta matibabu kwa sababu Kenya tulikuwa hatuna sehemu ama madaktari ambao wanaweza kumtibu. Kwa hiyo hili ni jambo la dharura ambalo linatesa watoto wetu. Hata mimi wakati wangu nikiwa msichana bado mdogo ilikuwa imenisumbua sana. Na mimi nataka kusema Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati wengine tunadharau hawa kina mama zetu wa kitamaduni wanaouza dawa za kienyeji. Kuna mama ambaye alinitibu wa kienyeji kwa sababu hospitali ilikuwa hakuna matibabu kabisa. Kwa hiyo mimi naomba wale ambao wanahusika na wizara ya health, naomba sana muipigilie upatu, sio mambo ya planning, ni action. Wakati huu tunataka action, watoto wetu wanakufa, sisi kina mama tunasikia vibaya sana. Najua wanaume hamwendi katika hedhi, ni wanawake ndio tunaoenda katika hedhi, na tuna insist leo katika bunge hili muweze kulipigia upatu, tusiweze kupoteza watoto kama vile tulimpoteza Njoki. Mwenyezi Mungu amleze na wema peponi, na yule mama ambaye alipigania mambo haya endometriosis, Mama Joli Mgisha pia, Mwenyezi Mungu amrehemu anapolala kule Uganda leo. Asante sana.
Yes, Kamei. Give Beatrice Kamei the mic. There you are.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to add my voice to this issue that is concerning women, endometriosis. This disease is actually affecting our children, the young women, and I'm trying to look at or to actually listen to what the chairman said, that the ministry is planning. I don't really understand what he means. Because when you say the ministry is planning, it has no timelines. We don't know it is planning when and how. So, Chairman, I think you need to go beyond this. Because now when you talk of ministry plans to do media campaigns, for how long? It has been there. They already know we have this problem. Many girls don't go to school during these times. Many girls are affected seriously. It is affecting their lifestyle. And I think, Chairman, you should go beyond this. Not just the ministry is planning to do campaign, the ministry is planning to do this. I think, and Honorable Speaker, we need to get serious information from the ministry is concerned, and especially this one. We cannot be given things that are not adding up. Thank you, Honorable Chair. And thank you, Speaker. Sorry.
Chairman Bukose, can you tell the House what you mean by planning? That's what you're being asked.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Mayaka has indicated that the number of gynecologists, in my statement, since we attained independence, we only have 700 gynecologists in the whole republic. Both in public, no, me I'm a surgeon. Surgeons are even fewer. We have 700 gynecologists, both in private and in public. Out of the 700, 5 have trained in laparoscopic gynecology. I think that is, and those are the ones now, because in laparoscopic, this is where you are able to do minimal incisions because you know you want to save the beauty of the women and all that. You don't want to do big scars. So you make small incision, put in through there, and you are able to remove those extra endometrial.
Yes, a point of order, Deputy Speaker.
Is that he's saying that there are few people who can do laparoscopic surgeries, gynecology. Yes, I know this for a fact. It's not because of aesthetic reasons. It's because when you do laparoscopic surgery, the recovery time is shorter and chances of you ending up in ICU or having to deal with a complete open surgery where they make an incision through your entire body, it causes more complications. So correct it, because whenever you talk about women issues, you trivialize it. That because our women want to look beautiful. He's trivializing something that is life-threatening. So please apologize to the women of Kenya now.
Chairman.
I think we are speaking the same thing with the Honorable Deputy Speaker. There is cosmetic role for surgery. When you do, just listen to me, I'm a surgeon.
Yes,
No. You can't teach me surgery.
Yes, Zamzam.
There is cosmetic reasons for any operation.
Chairman, hold on.
Beauty.
Yes, Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kumwambia mheshimiwa, hii damu ikitoka kwenye uzazi huwa inatambaa inaenda paka kwenye mapafu. Sio hiyo ya beauty ambayo unazungumza ati ya wanawake ya kufanya urembo. Haya ni mambo ambayo ni serious. Uliza mke wako atakwambia hiyo ni kitu gani. Ino damu utoka ikaingia mpaka kwenye mbavu ndo ambayo ilimuua yule msichana. Na inaleta maradhi mengine huko. Kwa hiyo sio mambo. Sisi tukitaka cosmetic hata mimi naenda nipunguze huu mwili niwe safi. Lakini hii ni ugonjwa ambao tunahitaji madaktari serious ndani ya hili taifa waweze kumaliza. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Unfortunately, you know, I wouldn't want to go there, but just for record purposes, everything has, you're not listening to, it's not only one reason. One is cosmetic. No woman would want a big scar in her abdomen. Yeah, they wouldn't want a big scar. Two, they wouldn't want complications. I'll not say that. Nobody would want to stay in hospital for that length of time. They would want to stay in hospital for a short period of time. So when you make a small scar...
Chairman, hold on.
Right, Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Chairman to say African women don't like scars on their body, while we know very many times, culturally, scars have been portrayed as marks of beauty around waists, faces, and breasts?
Yes, Millie. Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is the Honorable Chair in order to purport to speak with authority over things he knows nothing about. He may be a surgeon, but he does not go through what we go through. So you cannot be an authority on our bodies. For those of us